There's no lasers?
There's no lasers.
That doesn't... Lasers does not a great trilogy make. You're listening to the Funkatronic Rex podcast, where a few self-proclaimed piratical nerds running a friendly local game store discuss the board, card, and tabletop gaming community they love and serve. We tend to be the goofy, gregarious, and non-grindy gaming geeks of the community. Welcome. Okay, here we are. We're back, gentlemen. Exciting. We're cruising along the podcast trail. We have 4 of us tonight. I'm very excited. For those of you who do not know, my name is Court. I work here at Funkatronic Rex, Games and More, and I run a lot of our event organization, community building, campaign building, anything that needs to be planned, I try and do, as well as the media stuff. I'll pass it to you, Michael.
Thank you, Court. My name is Michael. I am also an employee. Yeah, I just sell you stuff, so pretty good.
That's it. Simple.
You minimize so much the impact that you have here.
It's true.
But in this world,
You're important, my man.
Gorgeous hair.
Isn't it great to have your job title condensed?
I guess that's...
To sell,
I went off
to sell yourself
the rails.
Yeah.
I'll get into that. I'm interrupting. But we used to have fun little job titles, which was... Do you remember that?
I had a really good one. It was, hold on. You guys were...
Purveyors of...
Collectible sales... There was like collectible procurement specialists.
Collectible procurement specialists, I think is what it was.
Well, that was it.
Anyway, Mike, who are you and what do you do?
Wait, but now I'm like, what was my job title? It was so good.
No, but in episode 1, we said you're the Funk Father.
It was a broker. It was some kind of broker, rarities asset broker, something like that. I liked it. I like that too. RAB. I'm just rab.
Did we take these titles to Gamma?
Yes.
Did you really?
They didn't print them on the badges though.
Right.
We were just we got to Gamma all excited, like, no, I'm gonna have a rad title.
Yeah.
And but they still said Funkatronic Rex. Nobody had that cool a name.
No, that's cool.
That alone helps.
Gamma was fun. We're talking about last year Gamma, because this year we're like, nah, let's not afford that again.
Kentucky now, right?
Kentucky was
That's
a stretch. That's
far.
That's a bit.
Yeah,
it's a bit of a travel.
We're off the rails on our intros.
Don't
gentlemen.
worry about it, guys.
Mike, we got Mike here.
I talk too much.
Throw the salt.
I throw some salt. I bring the dog along to keep me normal. She's like, wait, I'm looking for leftovers. People drop things.
In the hot seat, we've got... Gentlemen, are you guys ready?
Yes.
Here we go. He loves dragons.
Loves
dragons.
Loves them.
Ryan, who are you?
I'm one of your customers. I come in frequently to play Magic.
It's true.
Sometimes Pokemon. Bring the kid. Bring friends. Hang out. Not always playing a game. Sometimes I just chat. I think I'm known for that.
Your son's Pokemon vibe is so on point to me. He is so nonchalant about his Pokemon pulls. He's sitting there like looking through a pack like, yeah, this guy that I don't remember the name, and then this other guy, like this is me saying I don't remember the names. He knows them, right?
Yeah.
And then like he'll pull out some heat, and he's just like, oh yeah, that's cool. Like, but he makes up, your son makes up his own names for cool Pokemon that he likes. He's like, no, I'm going to give it a better name.
Yep.
Okay.
And like nails it on names. Give me an example of one of your kids' Pokemon.
Some of the more famous one is Pikachu is Chukapee.
Chukapee.
Yeah.
Already.
Bulbasaur is Bibblesor.
Bibblesor.
Ooh, okay.
And Charmander is Cheermander. I can't get the accent right.
Okay.
I'm not 11, so I will get made fun of for it.
Won't an 11-year-old mock us anyways, just by default?
Yeah, but as his father and not getting it right, it'll be twice as bad.
This is
Sure.
valid.
Yeah.
This is valid.
Yeah.
So, Ryan, how did we get to know you? Give us a little bit of your background in Funkatronic Rex and why you love dragons.
Well, okay. Well, those are two very different and separate questions.
2 different stories. That's fine.
The first one, I started coming shortly after you opened in 2018, 2019.
2017, I think.
Yeah, it'd been a little while. I didn't come right at the beginning. I had a friend who told me about it, and I should have come earlier.
Okay.
And he had, we'd gotten back to, kind of connecting. He'd moved back, and so we decided we needed a game. And he told me about the cool, close new card store. And I stopped by, and you guys used to have those cool mystery boxes for Pokemon and and Magic. And so I'd be like, well, if I get the kid one, I can get myself one. So
That's
Then you
valid.
don't feel as guilty.
yeah. And then, but the credit card, looks worse then. And so that's how I started coming initially. And after the pandemic, I wanted to find some more gaming again and get back into it. And so I came here. I've met you guys, and my love of dragons kind of then started there again, playing a lot of Magic and pulling some dragons that made Alex upset. He doesn't think dragons should be green or do green things.
Or be as rad as they should be.
Be as rad as they are.
Yeah.
Which they should be. They're dragons.
Yeah.
Right. So
A mediocre dragon is still better than the greatest human,
That's kind of where I'm at.
absolutely.
you know?
They fly.
Yeah.
They fly, they can shape change.
Wait, what?
Well, in D&D.
Oh, okay. I was going to say, I don't know any lore where a dragon can
Yeah, that was news to me.
shapeshift.
But I'm with it.
Sure.
Yeah, they can take other forms.
They hunt Matthew McConaughey
This is true.
and Christian Bale.
Yeah. Bill was skinny in that one too.
Yeah.
It was like post-machinist.
You post machinist,
But like hadn't like
Dark Knight,
pre-Dark Knight. He had
Begins.
bulked up.
Yeah.
I actually had not finished that until maybe 2 years ago.
The movie?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. I don't
The
remember
dragon
name.
one or
the
the-
dragon one?
Rain of
good.
Fire.
Yeah, Rain
It's
of Fire.
Good flick.
Yeah. I think we talked about it in episode 1.
As
too,
we
or
should
2.
have.
I
It's an
forget. I don't
Abrams
know.
tank versus a
It's
mythical
good.
creature. I'm with it.
It's good. Well, glad to be here, gentlemen. Thank you guys for being here tonight. And thank you to all of our listeners. And a big thank you to our patrons at Patreon.
Thank you.
Oh, wait, that's the wrong noise. Here we go. There it is. Thank you guys so much. We have a number of patrons on Patreon right now, paid subscribers, and it's overwhelming to see the love and support that you guys bring to us, and we just are so thankful. I do want to shout out a little bit by name.
Elon Musk. We have a level
Oh, come
just
on.
for you.
Yeah.
Okay.
Zuckerberg, Elon Musk, we have
Let's
a
go.
level, a Patreon tier for you, and it is $1 billion.
$1 billion.
$1 billion. So we have 2 tiers on our Patreon. One is Funkatronic Family, and the other one's called $1 billion. Funkatronic Family is $15 a month, and we will give you access to different exclusive Discord things, Discord channel, an exclusive sale. We will send you fun stuff in the mail at the end of a year of subscribing. You will get a care package. There will be merch. There will be fun game stuff. There will be games. There will be dice. There could be a Funkatronic Rex playmat. We don't know.
Ooh.
We don't know. We're working on stuff.
like
We're
this
cooking.
idea.
But we do have some patrons we wish to shout out. So a big thank you to Ricky, Kelsey, Curtis,
you guys.
Logan, and our first patron, Hiroko. So thank you guys.
Yay. Thank you. Much love.
Thank you guys so much. Really appreciate it. So if you want to be a Patreon member or patron of us or whatever you call it, please go to patreon.com/Funkatronic Rex. You'll find us. We've got links in show notes and everything too. So also, big thank you to anybody who's listening, but also following and downloading the podcast. We're covering 3 countries, obviously US, but we were also featured in or downloaded in Germany and Taiwan. We had multiple downloads in these 2 countries. It was
That's
hilarious.
rad.
We had a German couple come into the shop a few weeks ago, and I had mentioned that we're dropping the episode soon. And they flew back the next day. They said, "Oh, it's great to be here. Yeah, we'll download it." The next day, they flew out back home. Must have downloaded it in Frankfurt, and it triggered us as being like
The trending podcast of Germany.
Worldwide.
And then Taiwan, which is cool. I'll take it. Why not? So thank you guys. Thank you for being here and thank you for listening. So news and upcoming, what we've been doing here. We had a really fun day a few weekends ago. It was the Lord of the Rings Day. Lord of the Rings, the living card game. We had 2 tables, I think we had 3 tables going of the Lord of the Rings, the card game. I had brought exclusive decks from Gen Con and one other, I don't remember which one it was, but there were event decks that were only available at these gaming conventions. And we had a table try the Burning of Lake Town.
Ooh, that's cool.
Yeah, where Smaug comes out and plays.
Wrecks everything.
And they were doing really well. for like the first 3 turns. I went over and they were doing well. And then I overheard Larry say, "Hey guys, I think we forgot to do this." And as I always say, read your cards. I have it tattooed on my arm. Read your cards. They forgot an entire mechanic for the game and looked and retconned it all, and like everything became on fire. Like everything was on fire. And they're like, "Actually, we're not doing good at all. We're losing
Hence the
so
burning
bad."
of the town. Okay.
They're like, "Oh, never mind, not doing well." Then we also did Massing at Osgiliath, which was fun. I failed hard at that, but then Ron and Sydney busted through it and completed it. We had other games going, but also we had a feast. We had a potluck. I baked some vegan lembas bread. We had Maria bring in some vegan chow mein or something. I don't know. It was a whole thing. What? You're smiling, Mike. What?
I'm just trying to.
No, I know what you're doing. You're
trying to
picturing me in the kitchen baking vegan lembas bread. I know what you're doing.
Don't we all?
Wait. I'm just putting these 3 words together in my mind. Vegan,
Yes.
mythical bread.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yes. And it was tasty. I don't bake, and it
Delicious.
worked.
It was good.
worked.
I had some.
Thank
Hey,
you. Yeah,
that's
we had
good.
a bunch of people bring some wonderful dishes that
Some
they made.
people made sourdough.
It was good.
You went for lembas. All right.
I got to be on theme. Because it's the greatest trilogy ever. Anyways,
You know,
so
challenge.
fun day. We also had Lord of the Rings trivia. We gave away some prizing, and we had a fun competition where I bought cherry tomatoes, and you had to chew and bite into one and have the little like juice squirt out of it, like Denethor.
Like Denethor.
Yeah. So I'm gonna post the videos of those up on social media. But yeah, I think Alex won. It was either Alex or Billy, but.
Didn't Kelsey
Wait,
get
when
a
you
better
say
one outside
Alex-
of the competition?
Yeah, Kelsey did really well.
It was on accident, though. Remember?
No, I don't
She was trying to
remember.
eat one and it scored it.
Oh, really?
I don't even know if you were out. You might have been out filming
no,
the real.
No.
It
I
was
think you
great.
get bonus
Okay.
points for like
Yeah.
For just the accidental
the
Denethor?
genuine
It was
nature
genuine.
of it.
It was awesome.
Yeah. If you don't know what we're talking about, go watch a movie because this is the greatest trilogy ever, and watch
Debatable.
Return of the. Gosh damn it. Anyways, Return of the King, Denethor eating.
There's no lasers.
You know. There's no lasers.
There's no lasers.
That doesn't. Lasers does not a great trilogy make.
I did have a friend that
Just saying, there's no lasers.
it should have swords and or the undead to be a good movie.
It's in there.
I'm not disagreeing.
Okay.
So I'm on your side.
Okay.
It's mid though.
Jeez, did Sammy walk in the room?
No, just Sauron did nothing wrong.
Oh my gosh, this is a whole other topic. Anyways,
Mediocre. There's a sequel I want to see.
Anyways, so we had Lord of the Rings Day. It was great. Also, the Collapse of Dracodia campaign finale.
That was sweet.
The Age of Sigmar campaign that I wrote ended in fire. It was so fun to do. Just a quick update. Basically the board got wiped. We had a map. Their second game, the map started shrinking. Their table size. Top of turn 2, delete 8 inches off the side of your table. Any unit that's there is dead. Top of turn 3, another 6 inches.
Did you know where the board
Yes.
was falling off?
So
it was kind of on you. You shouldn't have been like, why'd you put your stuff there?
But
you
it was
knew the
after
earthway was
deployment.
coming.
Why were you standing there?
Yeah, why
No,
were
you can
saying-
see it coming. The
Yeah, you
fire
can
is
see it
coming.
coming.
And boop,
Move.
boop, boop. Every turn, 8 inches to start, and then 6 inches every round after it. By the end of it, I think they were playing on half the size of a board. It was great.
So, in lore, were there tables like getting burned down?
Yeah,
or
so
earthquake,
the
or-
arcane waypoints that had been turned on and off inconsistently throughout the campaign became so unstable that the arcane energy beneath the Earth's crust had just blown apart. And so it had basically started this huge fire. Kind of think of it like wildfire in Game of Thrones. And it was
Okay.
consuming the entire continent. And it was just waves of it were going through the land. And so anything caught in that is just instantly deleted. It's pretty cool. So yeah, it was good. Good finale, good turnout. Thank you guys for playing within that. We're going to do another campaign near the end of the year for AOS, but we have a 40K campaign coming up, which will be fun. And gosh, what, Mike?
The Riddick trilogy.
Is that better than Lord of the Rings?
No.
Oh,
No, but it's a trilogy.
No, but it is a trilogy. It's
I'm
a
struggling
viable.
to find a trilogy because
Yeah.
everything I like
It's a viable
stretches
trilogy.
it too far and goes at least 4 or 5.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a viable trilogy.
Mad Max, but
No, there's
new
four
one's
now.
better.
There's four of them.
It's separate trilogy.
Oh, that's okay.
And to see if there's going to be
No, because you do Road Warrior, and then you do
There's-
Mad Max.
the new Mad Max is the
Thunderdome.
Furiosa movie.
Yeah,
And then
yeah.
yeah.
But Tina Turner, come on.
We don't need another hero.
I didn't know I was
all
getting
you get.
entertainment.
That's all you
Dude,
get.
that's what you get.
Just a taste.
That's what you get. Speaking of entertainment, the 7th anniversary party is going to be happening. We are figuring out what we're going to do, but the 7th anniversary of the Funk is coming up in May. So
old.
we'll celebrate.
Lucky 7.
Lucky 7.
That
It's gonna
feels
be
good. That feels good.
Yeah. So that's our news and upcoming. Moving to hobby highlight. I'm going to pass it over to you, Michael. What are you working on hobby-wise? What's going on in your world?
Nothing miniature related. I was just thinking, I
Wow.
haven't touched like a brush in probably like 2 months.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't-
Sounds right.
School and life and work, all that. But
Yeah.
Star Wars Unlimited deck building.
Yep.
Although I had a little bit of a tragedy because I don't know where most of my cards went. But with what I do have, I'm still building decks. So.
Did you lose a binder?
I don't think Court knows he needs to.
I lost. I don't know how.
Is that what you called me about the other night? You called and you're like, hey,
Oh,
did you see
yeah.
him?
Because like I was running out of options. I was like, let me check if I brought them to work, even though I know I didn't. Yeah, I'm missing a couple boxes worth of like rares and legendaries.
Oh.
Like the stuff you want to open is
Yeah.
what's gone.
Okay.
Yeah, it's whatever.
Bum City, man.
But I got a deck now.
Okay. What is it?
It's a Boba Fett. It's like
Yeah, of course.
Where?
in space.
Oh, Boba Fett. Boba Fett. Yeah. That's for you, Paul.
Low hanging. Got it.
Got it. Cool. I'm doing the same. Star Wars Unlimited building. I got some stuff. I don't know what I'm gonna build. Manny's giving me some ideas, so that's what I'm gonna move forward with.
my thing was pick who's cool and just go from there.
Just go with it.
I don't
Yeah.
know. Like there's a couple things that can beat this mythical bounty hunter, but it's there's not a lot of things that beat him though.
Okay. Cool. Weren't you doing a Bosk thing?
Yeah, so he's a unit in the deck because he
Okay.
doesn't have a hero. But as soon as his hero card comes out, I don't care.
That's you. Yeah. You're
Can
good.
you play the unit in the deck of the hero? Like, could you play Bosk unit in that same deck? That's cool.
Yeah. Ryan, what do you got going on hobby wise?
Hobby wise, I did build a model actually with the kid. We got a King
Oh.
Ghidorah one. I called. I think you answered a couple weeks ago because it was not a snap together as it said.
Oh.
It was
Level 2.
probably more of that.
Yeah.
And it was unpainted, which is fine. But I don't know that he was expecting that. It seemed to be very easy on the box on the outside. It was
Yeah.
like, snap together, you'll be good to go.
Sure.
Nope.
No.
Definitely not Smay.
Not
No.
Smay.
No.
No, not Smay.
So I had to get the sandpaper out, the X-Acto knife.
Dang.
Wow.
It needs paint. Speaking
Yeah.
of, so we might bring it in someday here and see what he can do.
Well, it's King Ghidorah is gold. Boom.
He is, but he does need some color to him.
Yeah.
And he does have a base as well, like a little city he's
Oh,
destroyed.
cool. Okay.
So yeah, but a lot more glue than I anticipated for his snap to get.
Yeah, I bet.
So
Okay. That's cool.
that's one of the main things.
And Mike is currently hobbying, as always. What do we got, Mike?
I don't understand how these spears don't just break on everybody.
Oh, I refuse to do spears.
I don't.
100%.
I don't get it. These
touch
are
them and they
what
snap.
are these bone guys? Ossiarch
Ossiarch
Bonereapers?
Bonereapers. Yeah.
I don't know. Somebody had a half-built kit. I don't like leaving things half-built, so I made a bad decision. I'm going to build bone guys without instructions.
It's probably because of the spear. That's why they stopped.
It feels like it
spears are
because that's
terrible,
like
man.
your aim would be real bad if you were trying to throw that.
That doesn't look very. Yeah,
You shanked it to the left every time. I don't know.
it's not weighted properly. A lot
No.
going wrong.
Something's going on.
Yeah, I have 60 skeletons in my. Yeah, I know. 60 skeletons in my Soulblight Gravelord's army, and
Do you need more?
20 of. No.
Oh, okay.
20 of them have spears because I wanted a variety. I was like, oh, I'll do swords on this unit of 20, and then I'll do. I will never build
Do
spears
they
again.
work differently in game?
Nope.
Do they
No.
with some
No, his
others?
don't. Most
No.
don't. Most do though.
Yeah,
like
and
most
for Death Rattle skeletons, they do not. It was dumb.
This is purely
I
aesthetic.
know. Yeah. There it is. I'll never because I touch one and it snaps off. Dumb.
New meaning to snap together.
Snap apart.
Snap apart. Most models do eventually.
That's true. All right. What is in the case? What's in the case, Michael? What do we got going on?
I think so. The one with the funniest name, I think, is Jodah and the Leftovers. It's your new Jodah from Dominaria United, the guy who's way too strong. It was if anything.
Jodah.
I mean, I feel like if anything, it goes to showcase like just how good Jodah is.
Yeah.
Because like that, like not trying to dock on the deck, but that deck was very easy to build, and with minimal revisions, it already performs.
No, it tells you what it wants to do.
Oops, all legendary.
Yeah.
Yeah, Jodah is by far one of like the most powerful cards we've seen.
Sure.
He's one of the easiest tribals. I
What
think.
set did he come
Dominaria
out?
United.
Dom United. Yeah. Yep.
It's legendaries of any color.
It surprises me that Golos is banned
Yeah.
and Jodah isn't.
Yeah.
Because to me, Jodah's just way more powerful,
Sure.
more value. Like,
It's obvious.
I mean, Golos is good.
He never
Golos
threatened
is
me
real
the
good.
same way Jodah did.
Agreed. Agreed.
It's
And
your-
the
it's-
value isn't nearly the same, but
Especially since I think like
easier to cast.
I think part of the problem also was that he just made any deck you built around him just generically good, just because land and then you play free stuff. But I mean, if you really think about it, cards like Kenrith, I feel like it's the same thing. You want to build any deck that's 5 colors.
That's true.
There's a reason not to have Kenrith because
Sure.
he draws your cards, he bumps your creatures, he can recur stuff.
Yeah.
I think he recurs stuff. I don't know, but
He does it all.
But he
He
doesn't
has
do
a-
it at the value rate that Jodah gives you.
no, yeah. Jodah is definitely, and like I guess I can kind of see why he's not banned, just because he is focused at the end of the day with just the legendary creatures, but still he's very strong.
I give the eye roll every time I see Jodah come out.
That and dinosaurs nowadays, man. Not try, if you have a dinosaur deck, don't. I am not upset at you, but there is a lot of.
But
you.
there's a lot. Yeah.
Is there a 5-color dinosaur? I don't think there is.
Man, you got
Morphon?
Morphon, baby.
Well, that's true.
I guess on the bright side, though, with Fallout, they introduced Sloth as a creature type.
Yeah.
And they've officially eroded 2 different cards to include the Sloth keyword. So
Oh, really?
Sloth Commander 2025. Let's go.
There you go. All right.
The stuff they will and won't errata, I just don't get.
I just want more capybaras.
Agreed.
Store lore. And then we're going to get to our main topic. But Mike, I wanted to ask you, because it comes up a decent amount, especially when just kind of non-gamers walk in off the street into the shop and they're like, I didn't know this was here. And what is this? But let's talk about the origin of the name Funkatronic Rex. And then possibly get into the space monkey himself. Yes. But what is or was Funkatronic Rex and became this? Like, tell me a little bit more of it.
Funkatronic Rex was a good handle that I came up with like 15 years ago. I think I only used it on 2-3 remixes, and
So it was like an artist name for you?
it was it was a handle I was producing under and just doing stuff under.
Okay.
Yeah, I think I did like 3 things, and if you deep dive somewhere on a 9 Inch Nails website, you should be able to find a remix or 2.
Challenge accepted.
Like
I will
I
find
really
it.
don't know, but there should be a couple Funkatronic Rex remixes somewhere on a 9 Inch Nails website.
Big high five to whoever can find these.
Yeah.
I'd love to hear them again because I think I've lost them at this point.
Okay. This is when they released all the stems.
It was
for,
on Year Zero
Year Zero.
remixed.
Yeah.
Yeah, they had some kind of contest or some. It might not have been a contest. It was like
No, I think it was because they
you
did
could
a.
upload your stuff, and if they liked it,
They
I think
picked one of them to get featured on the remix CD or something.
that sounds
like
right.
I think so.
I don't remember, but that sounds right.
Yeah.
If I can find my write-up from 2001, you can probably find your song.
Yeah. We're
mean,
excited about this
yeah,
right up.
yeah.
So, yeah. No.
You got like a proper like from work write up.
No.
No. We'll get into it.
I was like,
But like they say in social network, the internet is written in ink.
sure.
So it's there somewhere.
Yeah.
Almost guaranteed.
Yeah, for sure. If somebody wants to find it,
Yeah.
there's a couple remixes out there.
When you pictured the name Funkatronic Rex, were you picturing a dinosaur? Because the space monkey.
I wasn't picturing anything. I was picturing what's a good, like what sounds cool.
Yeah.
Like legitimately, I just wanted a cool sounding name because my handle before that was a little too aggressive and just not right for. I don't know. I was trying to make different music.
Yeah.
And I don't know. It was good. Funkatronic Rex.
Yeah,
Okay.
no, it's
I
great.
like this. And it just didn't have enough mileage on the name. So
Well, now it
yeah,
does.
for real. I was like, that's a good name. I don't want to waste it. So what are we
Yeah.
going to do with it? And I knew I needed a name for the business, and I didn't want a boring name for the business like Mike's Fun and Games.
Yeah.
That just wouldn't do it for me.
Yeah.
So
Or it's reduced to 3 or 4 letters that nobody knows unless they're in the know.
right.
Yeah.
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 You know, I mean, I think we still get reduced to like funk.
Sure,
Right.
we're
people
fine.
But that's a
know.
word, not
It's a 4-letter word. Yeah.
Okay. So then the Space Monkey, who has a name, which we'll get into, but tell us the origin of the Space Monkey logo.
So when you are aesthetically / visually challenged, as I am, you employ other people to come up with graphics and designs and things, and you just say, yeah, that looks great, because I couldn't do that.
Yeah.
And I found a graphic designer that I haven't seen in a while, and I wish he was still doing it, but he moved on to like he's like Twitch streaming as
really?
a full-time gig. I'm like, good for you.
Sweet.
I want to sit around and play video games.
It's a bit of a 180, but
But like he's making a career out of that. But he stopped doing graphic design. But at the time when I was getting the business started, I found a graphic designer I could afford that was young and hungry and like trying to start a new business. And cool. I'm starting a game store. I need logos. I need things. I need a font. The font, I think he created. I think he created a font or like took a font and like tweaked it a little bit to get it.
I found something similar.
Okay.
But this is tweaked.
Okay.
For
so,
sure.
So like he did something.
Yeah.
And like I saw this font and I was like, oh, that's baller.
Yeah.
And then what he specifically asked me, okay, when you think about the name, what do you think of? What comes to mind? I was like, I don't know. It's either a breakdancing robot or a space monkey. And so the next time I met with him a week later, he had a couple images of space monkeys and a couple images of dancing robots. And right away, the dancing robot looked like the thing from Futurama.
Bender.
Bender.
Yeah.
And so I was like, no, I'm not having that.
Yeah.
That I don't want to. It looks too.
that's been done.
It just
Yeah.
wasn't me. It wasn't me, you know? And then he had like, because of the Rex, he had a couple ideas that involved like a dinosaur.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, okay, but that's not it either. But he had the space monkey. He had a rough of that. We tweaked the design a little bit, but it was like space monkey in a helmet already. Oh, winning. Let's go.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's add a little crown right here because he's the Rex. He's the king. So there's a little crown right
that's
here,
what that
like
means.
on the. I don't know what.
It's just below his.
just below his where the visor would
collar kind of
close.
thing.
Yeah,
the visor
yeah.
close it. Yeah.
and then
Like a choker almost.
yeah,
No, it's over the.
I'm looking at the one on your hat. That's what I keep referencing.
No, it's a little gold crown. Yeah, right below his visor.
I don't think I've ever seen this. Hold on.
It's funny because I don't have that part on my tattoo. It's so small. I don't have it.
You could get it touched up.
I'll just do a
it's
little.
just a
yellow
little
thing there.
three pointed crown. But
Yeah.
there was that, and there was like I think one other tweak. I think at the start the head was smaller in the helmet, so there was like more empty space. It looked wrong to me, but Homeboy knocked it out. It looks rad to me.
Oh, it's great.
I've liked it from the jump.
Do you have any of the previous prototype stuff, like the mock-ups for any of that, like the robot? And
So
everything?
here's the thing with me and technology. It's somewhere on a computer.
some hard drive somewhere.
Look, I've got like 6-7 computers in my life, and I've
Yeah.
got a stack of USB chips that I'm not. Michael, you want some more work? 'Cause I got something for you.
there we go.
Yeah, I don't know. I have that
Okay.
stuff somewhere, but I try and just keep moving forward.
I-
I don't.
I ask because I would love to reward our patrons.
Yeah,
If
yeah.
you're
I mean,
on our
I can
Patreon,
definitely
we can
find some
do
of
some
this stuff.
printouts and do like the early funk drafts. Here you go.
Yeah, I gotta dig because I think I'm like 2 computers past that one now.
Okay. Yeah, that's good. Now, what is the Space Monkey's name? Do you know, Ryan?
I do.
You do. Michael knows. We all know here. Okay.
Yeah.
I would
A lot of
hope
people
you
don't
guys know.
I know.
Ryan, let him know.
know.
Tell the people.
His name's Sebastian,
Sebastian.
Sebastian.
but
Yeah.
it's a very strong name.
It is. It's a good name.
It's a good name.
He's not scared.
It's classic. You know,
Yeah.
like it's timely.
Yeah. Well,
like
he's
He's
Sebastian
not getting
the
made
Space
fun of.
Monkey.
He's not getting made fun of on the playground for it.
No.
No,
Well,
plus
he's
you
in
can shorten it
space,
to
too. He's
Seb.
not on the
That's
playground.
true.
Seb's always been a cool name to me.
Seb.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's good. He's the daring space monkey. Yeah, it's good. There it is, store lore.
What's his favorite game?
you know.
I'll tell you, it's probably that we just got rid of it. There was it might be on the pre-owned games shelf.
What is it?
what was it called? Like Monkey in the Middle or something?
Yeah.
It was
the stuffed animal one?
It was an Eagle Griffin game. It's a kid's game that's similar to Spot It. Like it's got like some Spot It-esque game mechanics.
Yeah.
But they decided to put the game in the monkey.
Yeah. I love your hand gesture when you do that.
In the monkey.
I'm sure everybody's imagining.
There's
what's
a little Velcro.
Oh,
in the monkey.
wow.
Just saying.
Yeah.
The game doesn't get played much.
Can't imagine.
I've seen it for years. Never knew what it was.
And it doesn't fit on a shelf well.
No, it's a stuffed animal.
It's a stuffed animal that the stuffing's been taken out.
Is it a stuffed animal or a puppet?
Well,
it
there's
depends on how you use it.
in the monkey. So
Okay.
Yep.
It's both.
Okay.
Or as my dad would say, yes.
Yes. Yes, it is.
Yes.
Wow. There it is. And then now the more you know. All right. Tonight we're going to talk about card games. A lot of us have experience in different card games. We love specific card games. We've played card games that have been discontinued or have died or whatever, or we just don't like them anymore. But the whole thing is, are they all the same? Yes, some of them share some of the similar mechanics, but why does one play better than the other? There's Billy's walking by. Billy's just walking
guest.
outside by the window. Oh, hey, Billy. Anyways, God, that's great. Why would you play one card game over the other? Why do you not still play these specific card games? So I'll ask some specific questions here, but I want to just go around a little bit. Like, what card games do you guys really enjoy? What have you played? What are you still playing? Give me a little bit of a range of what your card game experience is, and we'll just go around. Michael.
Cool. So I think first things first, I didn't know this prior to working here, but there's like, there's card games, but then there's the separate like categories of card games. Like you have like Magic and Pokemon and like Yu-Gi-Oh and all that, which are like your collectible or your trading card games.
Yeah.
Then there's stuff like Lord of the Rings, Arkham Horror, Marvel Champions, which is like the living card game.
LCG. Yeah.
And then there is like stuff like Mystic Vale and Legendary, which is like a deck builder that you like build your deck as the game goes. And then, at the end of it, you'll have a fully fledged deck and whatnot. So I've tried all three by now. I would say for trading card games, obviously play Magic the Gathering.
Yep.
I feel like it's kind of hard not to when you work here. One of our old employees, I remember when he was first starting to work here, he was telling me about how he got out of Magic and whatnot. And I was telling him, oh, cool. I mean, we work at a game store. You should get back in. And he told me, like, no, I'm not going to do it. I'm definitely not going to do it. 2 weeks later, he has a commander deck. So I think it's
never say never with Magic. Yeah.
So, Magic, obviously, there's a new Star Wars game, which, I've mentioned a bit now. But, trading card game just came out.
That's kind of what brought this on, by the way, because of Star Wars Unlimited releasing and then obviously Lorcana last year. But, yeah. Okay. So, Magic is it for you right now?
Yeah. Yeah.
And Star Wars, sorry.
Yeah. I think we'll see how it goes through the fullness of time, but I've slowly been drifting away from Magic, so I'm hoping Star Wars continues to sell great, which we just learned is like a good problem. They're running out of stock, so.
Yeah.
But, ideally, Star Wars, and then, can't really get out of Magic, so I'll still always play it.
Sure.
As far as like living card games, I've played all three. I have not played all three, actually. I haven't played the Lord of the Rings one, which is funny because that's the biggest one here.
I know.
But no, honestly, the Marvel Champions, Arkham Horror.
But the first one you played, I got you in. I shanghaied you. Do you remember? Warhammer Invasion.
Oh, that wasn't the first one. That was
He had already played Champions by then.
yeah.
Oh,
I think I already had all
He'd
my
already
champions.
salted me off the board with that.
But I think technically, if Warhammer Invasion might have been FFG's first LCG. Don't quote me on that, but I think property-wise, I think it was their first
Someone
LCG.
quote him.
Doing it right from the start.
Yeah.
No, they're not doing it right considering the game
Could have been Game of Thrones.
canceled, but
Could have been Game of Thrones, but yeah.
So
All
yeah,
right. Okay.
Marvel
Yep.
Champions, Arkham Horror. I think both are solid games.
Sure.
I just so happened I gravitated towards Champions, and we had a collection here that I bought it, so it was easy to collect it all. But yeah, Champions, Arkham Horror. In Champions you play as superheroes and you fight the bad guy. Pretty classic. In Arkham Horror, I feel like it's just a game of, let's not die.
Yeah.
Whether we win or lose, I guess doesn't matter because we're just trying not to die. So
Yeah. Which I love because it parallels kind of the Call of Cthulhu RPG. Like you're not min-maxing anything.
Yeah.
You're just
You're
don't
just
die.
staying alive. Yeah.
And if you stay alive, to what level of sanity do you still have? So, yeah.
Yeah, I like the alter ego mechanic in Champions, which is cool. Like you're fighting as your heroes, and then once your heroes are beat up, they'll switch to their civilian form, and that's when they'll recover. The villains aren't going after you, but because you're not in hero form, like you're not a hero there to stop them, they're scheming. So, get enough scheme, they complete their quest, they win, and then Arkham, the map is cool. Like getting to control where your characters is going. The clue mechanic is cool. Where you can investigate and find stuff and whatnot. I think they're both great games, and I just haven't played Lord of the Rings. But.
Okay, well, I'm going to change that 100%. So, Ryan, we all play Magic here. You were definitely one of the big Magic players in the shop. But what else?
Sure. So I started with Magic because when I was a kid, there wasn't as much to choose from.
Yeah.
The other one is Pokemon. So played that at the inception on the playground heyday of. Did you break that?
That's a good
spear?
catch, Mike.
No.
I saw that. Yeah.
That's what happens. You wear a jersey. You're ready to play in the MLB. All right, guys?
Pro ball player, everyone.
D-backs, I'm talking to you.
So I started with Magic, but Pokemon 2 at its inception, and played probably 2 rounds of Yu-Gi-Oh! At some point, and in my brain I did not have enough to have Magic and Yu-Gi-Oh! I also, just remembering, while you guys were mentioning, I have a Young Jedi Star Wars game.
Oh.
I still have a couple of the decks at home.
Do
I
you?
should bring those in.
I'd like to see it. I've never actually seen that game.
I have... If I have one of the instructions, we might be able to figure out how it works, but otherwise, we'd have to go probably to the internet. I'm sure it's there.
Okay.
And throughout time, I did play. I was going to ask you guys, was it Legend of the Ten Rings? That was an old
Legend
card.
of the Five Rings.
5 Rings.
Yep.
So I played that at a shop kind of in
05R.
between.
I actually played a little of that.
Was it a living card game or a trading?
No, that was a trading card
Was it a
game.
TCG as well? Or
I thought FFG picked it up to be an LCG.
it might have turned into one. I know it switched.
Originally, it was a trading card game.
Was it a
Okay.
TCG?
Yeah.
Didn't like that. It seemed needlessly complicated.
Yeah.
And not a lot of payoff. A lot of build up, and then didn't go anywhere.
Yeah.
Ahead of its time.
That's like the cop-out answer. But no, it could be.
Well, I mean, considering that, like, we've heard, I want to say at this point, Wizards has confirmed that, like, as the years go by, players want more convoluted, 6 paragraphs per card. So, like, this game might have, if this game had launched in today's age, it might have actually.
Oh, it
good.
could have. Yeah, maybe.
It could have. I don't remember if the cards had a lot. The mechanics and,
I
and the
feel like
setup
the
were.
skin was already, like, not sexy enough to
Yeah.
carry mediocre mechanics.
Yeah.
Like thematically.
There's so many options. There's so much IP. This was in like the late 90s,
Late 90s, maybe
early
99,
2000s, right?
something like that.
Even then, you had like X-Men was a big property that you could have reached for. Star Wars was a big property. Like there was Star Trek card
Star
games
Trek,
at
that's
the
got a
time.
huge following still,
Like,
even though
there
it's
was a
long.
bunch of different options to then suddenly out of left field, hey, there's this little property that none of you know about. Try and care.
Yeah. And it was samurai stuff.
It
wasn't
was like feudal
kind of
Japan.
feudal, yeah, samurai.
Samurais, ninjas, wizards, because it had the
Yeah.
magic aspect of Japanese lore and whatnot. But it was mechanically mediocre.
Mm-hmm.
Magic was already out at the time.
Magic, and I think Pokemon had just
Pokemon
come.
had already come out. I can't say that Pokemon was better mechanically than this game.
No, but to your point of it was a
It
IP that mattered.
it was already a saturated
Yeah.
market with like different options. This game came out of like nowhere with like, what is this property? Why should we care?
Right.
You know, and I don't know. It might have been big in other markets. Here, it was.
It was in between tournaments back in the day, and a couple guys were insistent. So I was like, okay, I'll pick
try.
up some time and try.
I feel like everybody I knew that played that game got like a deck or two and a couple boosters deep. I don't know anybody that like was cracking boxes.
No, there was one guy in our store. Don't even remember his name, but he was the one like championing it and wanted us to all play. And like I think I got given the extra commons deck or whatever would have been left over.
Yeah.
And no idea what happened to it. So got back in and out of Magic and out of high school, college, back in here. Like I said, when I first started showing up in 18 or so, always drafted with friends. Didn't keep the pulse on Pokemon after after I turned about 14, that was probably done until the kid got into it.
Yeah.
And we've tried to play, but he makes his own game up just as he makes up the names of the Pokemon.
See, you were never going to be able to hang with him. He was better than you
Yeah.
at the game from the jump.
The league ahead. Yeah.
And did try some Lorcana, just didn't hit with the family as much. The wife was into it for a minute, and the kid isn't as big into Disney, so I don't know. Just didn't land. So that's kind of my history with the card games, the main ones. I mean, I'll try something always on the side, like I said with even Yu-Gi-Oh! I have 2 full games under my belt, so I might be I definitely believe in the heart of the cards.
I think that's like you're a game away from official Yugi status.
Got it. So 3. That makes sense. 3 lucky. Sure.
Pre-Yugi.
Pre-Yugi. Mike, what about you? What's your history with? Oh, gosh.
You got me too.
I'll give you a moment.
That's Smay Yugi over here.
Mike, what's your history with card games? We know you started with Magic, I'm pretty sure, but what else have you played?
I definitely started with Magic and played that through high school, and I want to say like the first 3-4 sets of Magic I played, like the first expansions, and then I played the Star Trek game. I played the Star Wars games, the Young Jedi one, and there was a different one too.
There was a more like older original trilogy, if I recall.
Just mechanically, hey, here's games with a cool IP, but mechanically they didn't. No, Magic's just better. It's more exciting. My brain scratches better.
Yeah.
And then
the Young Jedi one stalled out, I think. Again, it was a lot of those games feel like they stalled out.
I think also for myself, I just got out of card gaming for a long time. I took like a good 12-year break, dabbled a little bit, and then like nah, and then took like another few years off. And then when I came back, it was like, oh, Magic's cool. Since I came back, it's been Magic, Star Wars Destiny, which was a great game that just underproduced. And how do you keep a game alive if you don't have enough to sell people? And I play Lorcana because it's Magic Light with no instant speed, so you can't mess with me.
Yeah.
Yep, my turn.
Yep. I like that. I like...
No on your end step.
Yeah.
In response.
Yeah, no. What you don't get to respond.
No.
That's not a thing. And so it's a lot easier to teach a kid and teach people in general. It's just an easier gateway into Magic, and somebody needs to sell it. So cool. I will play Lorcana.
Do you know all the lore of Lorcana?
I don't know the lore of games that I like. Are you kidding me? I'm so like no, not a steel trap right here. All right. BattleTech, there's a lot of lore. I know Clan Wolf wins.
Big robots fight each other?
Yeah, but whose big robot is it is what matters in that universe. I don't know. Lore is always secondary to me. Mechanics.
Okay. Well, these are questions that I have for you guys at some point. But weirdly, I thought you guys were going to out-experience me as far as the range of card games. I kind of think I've played more, which is weird. So I actually have a chronological list.
Thanks, Paul. You got a spreadsheet to
Can
accompany.
we pull up the spreadsheet, please?
I'd be talking like this close to the mic.
Wait,
I'm
you
doing
should
the
be?
Paul.
What's the win
If
rate
I'm
for
doing
each?
the Paul. I love you, Paul. No.
We do love you.
So-
What's the win rate for each? You need to know that.
Just don't worry. Oh, for Lorcana, undefeated.
You haven't played me.
How many?
I've only played 2 games and I haven't lost either.
More or less
So I'm
than my
undefeated.
Yu-Gi-Oh
Retired
games.
champion, man.
I'm retired champion. Anyways.
No, Smay Pro.
What?
Smay Pro if it's only
Smay
2.
Pro.
I'm
Champion.
Smay Pro.
Yeah.
I'm Smay Pro.
You got to get paid.
Damn. Got me. All right. So I started with Warhammer Invasion. When that came out, I think it was like 2011, something like that. Fantasy Flight Games came out with Warhammer Invasion. I was super into Warhammer. This is the fantasy, Warhammer fantasy card game. They did a 40K one. I wasn't into it, but Warhammer Invasion was great. I then moved into Game of Thrones. I basically did the gamut of FFG card games. So Game of Thrones, Call of Cthulhu. Then once Innistrad came out with Magic, or Magic came out with Innistrad rather, boom, zombies, werewolves, vampires, ghosts. You got me. I will play this. Finally. Lord of the Rings, that speaks for itself because it's the greatest trilogy ever. Bought into that. Arkham Horror, because again, Call of Cthulhu, love the Lovecraftian stuff. Then Disney's Lorcana, I had to try it, so I bought a pre-con, and I just threw a couple Ariel cards in there because
Was she your
why
favorite
not?
princess?
Yes, she
Okay,
is.
okay.
The first movie I ever saw was Little Mermaid. I was 2 years old. Changed my life.
My mom took me as well as my first movie.
Shut up, Michael. What?
It's a lot different for me. My mom's like, you didn't like it, and you wanted me to take you away, leave.
I'm gonna give you, Michael. You ready? You ready for this?
Yes.
Fine. At some point, I think it was like 3 or 4 years old. All I wanted for Christmas was an Ariel Barbie doll. And you know what? I fucking got it.
I'm gonna get
I
so
got
canceled
it.
for that laugh.
I got it. But at the same time, I also was given a bunch of guns and swords that year for Christmas to balance things out a little bit.
Even that shit out.
Little three-year-old Court is running around in one hand with his Ariel Barbie doll, and the other hand a big like Peter Pan sword. Love and life.
Ariel didn't have a gun.
No,
Seems like a missed opportunity.
She doesn't need it. She's got her ways.
She can tap herself and sing.
Yeah,
Yes.
Lorcana joke. Yeah,
But is
Anyways,
Ursula's showing up next set, so she might not
she
be able
already
to
has
sing.
a card.
Yeah,
she already has a card.
She already has a lot of cards.
Yeah, and one of them's misprinted.
Yeah.
On
Yeah.
purpose?
The most expensive one,
Yeah.
which is hilarious.
Yeah. So Lorcana, and then the last thing, Star Wars Unlimited. I bought some packs. I'm excited to try that. But yeah, I think seven card games, and most of mine have been canceled or like are dead card games. So kind of a bummer, but
Quantity over quality here, I think, is the debate.
guess, yeah. So here's the questions I have for you guys as far as we know what card games you guys have played. We know what you are currently play. Maybe why don't you play one over the other? Ryan, Yu-Gi-Oh! You tried it. What didn't hook you?
Probably a couple things. As I mentioned before, I was already doing Pokemon and Magic at the time. So as a kid, budget, just ability to play, people to play with. And I really told him, I was like, I can't put another card game in my head right now.
Yeah.
We're doing D&D. We're doing all these other ones. So it was legitimately that, just kind of overexerted on,
Gray space.
what
Yeah.
I could do and time to play with friends.
Okay.
Some of them die, like the Young Jedi. I think it only had a couple expansions.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that was a short
Yeah.
game.
Just didn't go anywhere. So I think I own half the cards that exist for it.
Yeah, okay.
And
But the IP was that interesting to you at all? Yu-Gi-Oh?
not as much either. Probably Pokemon was much bigger if we're going with one that had an established IP. Was big into it. I got the game the day it came out. Ran home every day after school to watch the anime. And Yu-Gi-Oh was just on sometimes. So
Yeah.
that was kind of my difference with it. Star Wars, everybody loves Star Wars. I mean, who could be mad?
Yeah.
So, and Magic has its own IP. Well, it did until recently.
What do you mean?
The universe is beyond. Now we have others' IP.
yeah.
So.
Yeah. Well, there's one big one that we really haven't mentioned, and I don't know if the stores ever carried it, but Flesh and Blood. It is a big card game. Why don't you guys play it? Why isn't it carried? To be honest, I've never personally found interest in it, and I've never played it. So why don't we carry it? Why don't we play it? Why don't you guys carry it and play it?
There's only so much money in the bank,
Yeah.
and there's a lot more games coming out every day, every week. Like, you have to make choices. We can't carry them all. And another thing is that we've definitely realized over time is if we don't have somebody actively supporting running a game, running an organized play community, the game will die.
Yeah.
I don't know who here has the bandwidth, the money, or the care to learn Flesh and Blood to be worth carrying it. I'm not saying anything about the game system. It might be great. I might play it tomorrow and be like, this is 10 times better than Magic. I will never know because I refuse to play it because I just don't need another game. Because as much as, hey, look, I've got a game store, I still have my own budget of I only have so much time and so much money to play so many games.
Yeah.
When am I going to play this? With who am I going to play this with? I don't want to drive to others. I'm a lazy gamer in that I'm not willing to drive all over town to find a playgroup. Not at
Sure.
all. I am much more want to, what is this store playing? Luckily, every store plays Magic, so I'll be fine.
Yeah.
But if I was just needed a game store, I would walk in. What do you guys play? Cool. You play Magic. I'll be fine. What else do you play? because I like minis too. I don't really love role-playing games, but if you're playing Star Wars, you got me. You know, like I have things that I'm down to play and things that I don't want to, but we have to make decisions about what are we willing to carry, what do we not want to carry, and for me, one of the easy things is Yu-Gi-Oh! Is another perfect example. I don't speak that language. I have no... Like, I joked about Yu-Gi-Oh! Earlier, like, what's a Yu-Gi? I have no idea. I have no reference for this universe. I'm not exaggerating. I've never seen an episode.
I have no idea.
I think I aged out of it. I was in high school, I think, when it appeared, if not older. I don't know. So I think every year we get maybe 3 requests for Yu-Gi-Oh! Cards. That's just not worth putting Yu-Gi-Oh! On the shelf when 3 people a year ask for it. Flesh and Blood came out hot, just like Lorcana came out hot. And it's one of those things where a couple, 2-3 stores strike early. They know, hey, let's try this new game. Oh, look, we got the audience. Well, once that audience has established its home base for where they're going to play, it's really hard to glom onto a game system that's already started. Like, it's hard to play catch up and then try and create your own steam for it. Lorcana, we jumped in with the first set. It was hard enough to get product.
Yeah.
That, like, even being in that part of that small group that got the first set, it didn't matter. There wasn't enough product to really push the game forward. We're still looking for restocks on all 3 sets. And again, like, that's why a game like Flesh and Blood, I will never carry it. I'll tell you right now, I will never carry it. If somebody wants it, I will happily special order it for you, but I'm never going to put it on the shelf regularly because we've already passed that initial offering phase, and now we'd be playing catch up.
Yeah.
It's just not worth it to us as a business to try and do that.
Yeah, and I think the kind of the funk mentality, which is great, is each of these card games that we have on our shelves is supported by one of us or a person in the store. Like, I love Lord of the Rings. I push that. I'm going to pat myself on the back and say I have grown that community within the store.
Absolutely.
Michael, Champions. Boom. For you. I've seen you play that in store multiple times. You know, Paul, his favorite card game, I think, is Arkham Horror.
I think so.
So I've actually played most of Arkham Horror top to bottom with Paul.
Oh, really?
'Cause we had a 2.5 year campaign playing it.
Oh, yeah.
I've also played every Legendary game, and I own, like, all the Marvel Legendary. I think the only one I don't have is I think there's a Buffy Legendary because, again, a property I don't care about.
Right.
But I have Big Trouble Legendary, Alien Legendary,
Yep.
Predator. I have X-Files, all of them. And I've played them all. Like, hey, yeah, played through the game. Done. Right now, I just started Harry Potter, the Harry Potter deck builder, which plays just like Legendary. I started that with my daughter this weekend. I don't know. Those to me, like, when I think of systems differently. Like, it's either a system that's going to, like, keep going and constantly print new stuff, or like living card games just feel different to me. Like, you know, the I don't know. There are a lot of different kinds of games. So, like, in answer to the main question, are they all the same? Absolutely not.
No,
absolutely not. Like everything about Legendary and that style of Champions, Arkham, the living card game style seem aimed at cooperative for the most part. There's some older ones like Ascension. I haven't played that in long enough. I think that's competitive. I want to say Ascension plays kind of like Dominion.
Oh, okay.
Like, we haven't mentioned that. Dominion's an older...
It's a deck builder.
Deck builder of the kind where you're deck building as you go, much like Legendary, much like Harry Potter, as opposed to Arkham, Champions, or Lord of the Rings, where you have pre-built your deck to do a thing before you've started the game.
Yeah.
If anything, I like the ones where you deck build as the game is going more, because I don't like doing my homework. I'm not trying to, like, pre-plan to build a deck unless it's Magic. And even there, I'm so lazy about that. Like, throw cards in a pile, try it, you know?
So that brings up an interesting point, because a lot of these games emphasize do your homework.
Yeah.
Lord of the Rings, honestly, is one of those, unless you have a really well-rounded fellowship, and I'm just using, like, that term as play group because I'll toot my own horn, beep, beep. I have a great set of guys that I play with, and our decks are well-rounded. Having said that, if you don't have that, you need to build for whatever scenario you're playing.
Yeah,
And
that doesn't sound
is
fun.
tough.
That doesn't sound fun to me. Like, I don't. That was the thing with Arkham when I played through that with Paul in our play group. I would specifically tell them, hand me whatever deck. Cool. They hand me the deck. And then once we started playing like a campaign setting, I would just play that deck and like through that adventure, we'd add cards, take cards out as the game would instruct as we were playing. But I was never purposefully tweaking my deck, like looking through binders, finding no, that's what the deck started as. I'm just, cards came in and out and that's it.
Yeah.
And the game was a blast. It was super fun. I like the cooperative aspect as opposed to playing all the Magic where it's winner take all. No, like it's, hey, we're all winning or losing together. And Arkham's brutal. We lost a lot.
Lost more times.
I think we lost more than we won.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Sure.
And it was great.
Yeah.
And legitimately, I think we played every single campaign from the first, before they went to second edition.
Yeah.
I think we played all of it.
That's a good sign. If you lost and still came back.
Oh, I loved it.
Dude, yeah,
I think that's a good
you,
sign.
honestly,
You
like,
roll with the punches
Huge
on that
shout out
game.
to Arkham because
Yeah.
like this
Yeah.
game is we haven't talked about it too much in this particular episode, but this game is awesome.
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
rad. And I guess personally, I cannot stand Marvel Champions and won't play it again. Personally, because I had a super salty about to flip the table at 3 a.m. moment with that game where we had played, it was 3.5 plus hours into one mission. We were playing the Wrecking Crew expansion.
Yep.
3.5 hours into a mission. And we had finally gotten to a point where like, oh, snaps, we're finally getting up on them. Okay, guys, we got this. And then we just had this horrible turn of events where it was just like, the game is going to shit on you now. And we went from, oh man, we're finally starting to get somewhere, to in 15 minutes, I was done and I will never play that game again. And it's all AI card driven. It's just the luck of the shuffle.
Yeah.
But we got like the worst possible shuffle that just screwed us. And I've, even in Arkham, I don't think we ever took that bad a beat of like, there was nothing we could do. It was just, everybody got pummeled by the wrong order of cards coming out. I'll never play that game again. It's fun. Yeah, it's great. Buy all of it. I will never play it again. You won't get me to play it. I love you. I like Marvel. I will not play that game again because it was so salt-inducing.
Mike, can you show me how to play?
No. Michael will happily.
It was funny. I think the last time I played Champions, it was with Paul. So shout out to Paul because he's the one that got me into it. But yeah, it was me, Paul, Sammy, and like I've done like. For most of the games I play, I like to do my proper homework. Like if I'm going to play this game, and especially as an employee, I feel like I should be well equipped to like explain it to and whatnot. It helps sell the product better, if nothing else. So like I've done my proper homework. I know Champions inside out. Build a bunch of decks. I've gotten Sammy is like almost there, but I feel like just Sammy kind of globs onto like all the work I put into it, and then he'll just cool. This character's cool. Cool, Sammy. Let me build you a deck, and then boom, and then as we play, Sam will be like, I like this card. I like this card. Don't like this card. And then there's Paul, which I think just approaches it as like a much casual. He doesn't. He does his spreadsheet homework, but then it actually doesn't reflect in the decks he builds because it's like, Paul, what are you doing with this deck? But we did a run through.
He likes his decks to be super thematic. He wants it to be like, I'm playing Captain America and it feels like it from top to bottom.
Yeah. Sure.
So like I respect that.
I'm down with
like,
that. Yeah.
He's very like on theme with the things he builds.
So we did a rerun on the Wrecking Crew, which was the crew that got Mike out of the game. And even as seasoned players with actual good decks, because I feel like if anything, with Mike's experience, after having looked at some of Paul's deck, it's like, no, I mean, Paul didn't build a good deck, so you're not going to win with a bad deck. But even with good decks, the Wrecking Crew, man, it takes so long to beat. There's 4 of them, and they all have like 40 plus health at 3 players. Like you got to chew through a lot to get through them. And then you'll get those turns where it does boom, 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 and like, oh crap, we're almost gonna die. We gotta fix it, but. Yeah, it's just the Wrecking Crew specific. I feel like that was that was not the one you should have started with.
No.
Yeah. I mean, there's plenty of that in Lord of the Rings too. We've had scoop moments like Surge. There's a story, of course, like I'm drawing from the encounter deck during the encounter phase and in the staging step. Surge, which means you're going to draw another card after this. And I draw another Surge.
Is that good or bad?
And I draw another Surge.
bad.
No, it's bad. Counter deck is bad.
threat.
Top deck, boom. Surge. Oh, okay. Draw another one. Surge. Oh, okay. Boom. I got, I think, 5. And you're only supposed to draw 1 card per player for the encounter step, the encounter phase. So in a group of 4, you're bringing out 4, maybe 5 if there's a Surge. We had 9 cards come out that turn.
Double or nothing.
It was like,
That's awesome.
nope, that's it.
Yeah,
that's all.
That was the Wrecking Crew.
Yeah.
That was what.
Yeah, Surge, because they have Surge is also in Champions.
Yeah.
And God, it's the amount of times
That's what did it,
yeah.
right?
It's brutal.
It's
Yeah.
like, dude, I'm about to die. Please don't hit anything good. And then you reveal a card. Oh, cool. It doesn't affect me. Oh, nope, Surge. And now the villain attacks you. Cool, I lose.
Yeah. Well, so the keywords are shared across multiple games and stuff. Like, Vigilance has 3 different names in different games, which you don't tap to attack. But there's obvious shared mechanics: tapping, exhausting, kneeling, whatever you want to call it. Turn the card sideways. There's obvious things like you must flip this card face down, or it transforms, or whatever. What are some unique mechanics that you guys have seen through card games that you're like, I like that. I haven't seen it many other places. This is rad.
I really like, and I know it's been in other games that I haven't played because somebody's pointed out, oh, that's a mechanic from such and such.
Sure.
I really like the way ink in Lorcana works. This is new to me because I mostly come from Magic when it comes to TCGs. In Magic, you have to have land to play your spells. So a certain percentage of your deck has to be effectively like somewhat dead cards late game. Lorcana, there's no dead cards per se because your cards are your resource to play things because of the way ink works in the game. I really like that. Yeah, that's new to me and exciting.
Call of Cthulhu was doing that.
See, I've never seen that. It's cool.
Yeah.
And I like in Lorcana, not all of them can be inked.
Yes,
So you
exactly.
still have to have some
Yeah.
aspect.
And there's you can have about a quarter of your deck non-inkable without running into problems. You start getting greedy and it's like, ooh, well, that opening hand sucks. The other thing I like is the song mechanic in Lorcana is, as far as I know, unique to Lorcana. I've never seen any other game do it, but there's some cards that are actions, so something like a sorcery in Magic, and then there's some that are specifically song actions that can be sung by characters. That's cool. I think that's neat just to be able to cheat a little bit more value. You know what? I don't want to punch with my character. I don't want to quest with my character. Instead, I want to cast spells with my characters. That's cool.
Yeah.
I really enjoy the way that works, and it's a whole other aspect I haven't seen in Magic doesn't have the equivalent. Magic has Convoke. So it's a pseudo, it's kind of like Convoke, but more powerful.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Because, Convoke, you need a bunch of creatures.
You need a bunch of creatures.
With Lorcana, it's like, no, my
It's based on the
Elsa is going to
CMC.
sing Let It Go. Boom, awesome.
Yeah.
Which I also like. That is, and it's very thematic
It's
for
thematic. Yeah,
a Disney
absolutely.
game. So, mad props. That is a great, mechanic.
Ryan, mechanics, what's unique that you've...
I don't know if it's unique anymore, but in Pokemon, I always liked as a kid how you evolved and putting the card on the top. And you had to wait a turn. You couldn't just evolve.
Oh, yeah,
boom,
that's
boom,
cool.
boom.
Yeah. Evolving's cool.
And
You can't do it on the same turn?
not the turn it comes out. I think there's
Yeah.
exceptions, obviously, by now.
Interesting. I didn't know that.
But you can't evolve it the first turn, and then if you evolve it to the first stage, you can't go to the next one until the next
turn. Okay. But there's some that just come out rad from the jump, right?
That's newer. Yeah, the EXs or
They can't just
VMAX.
come out,
Yeah.
oh, look at me,
Yeah.
I'm baller.
Yeah, anything EX, anything V,
Yeah.
they come out as
Yeah.
If we're Inteleon, he comes out as Inteleon. There's no Sabo into Durzel into Inteleon, and then you can get a VMAX, which I saw it played in the actual Pokemon game.
You're speaking Greek to me right now.
No, we're getting there. So there's
It's a better, bigger version of each Pokemon.
yeah. So
Okay.
in the Nintendo Switch Pokemon game, they can go Gigantamax, where this Pokemon just legitimately
yeah.
Turn
Literally
like
bigger,
Godzilla
gigantic.
size.
yeah,
Three
it
times.
gets huge. Yeah.
Okay.
That's it. And I
In
think
Ultramans.
Yeah, and I think
Gengar
VMAX
becomes the
in
size of a
game
building.
and whatnot
Okay.
reflects that. But that's kind of cool. We're no, this Pokemon's just he's gonna
Sweet.
gonna expand. Now you're fighting a big Snorlax with
Yep.
a
So-
city on his
okay.
stomach.
So, lore-wise, do these giant Pokemon just exist? Or is it
They
I was this small thing, I evolved, and then I ate some super pill. And
I think
then
it's that
became,
you feed them something and then they get
boom.
It's like the Pac-Man pill. He ate the
Yeah.
the Juju, and now he's giant size.
Yeah.
Or you have to
Does it
connect
run
them to your-
out? Or does he?
Yeah,
Usually
no,
it goes away.
yeah, it'll go away.
It abates at some point.
Okay.
Or if you beat them, you just catch them and then
All right.
Yeah. But I always like that.
That's cool.
that,
evolved
yeah, I
mechanic.
like
The evolved
evolution's cool.
mechanics. Yeah.
Yeah. And other games may have it by now, but
Mutate would be some kind of pseudo.
yeah, but the rules that it breaks.
Yeah, I mean,
mutates its own monster.
dude, I still don't think I know how mutate works.
Nobody
It's
does.
been 2020.
I'm looking back and The card game that stands out to me the most, where I'm like, oh, that was actually a really unique mechanic. As far, again, could have been in other things probably, but Game of Thrones. The Game of Thrones card game that was originally a CCG, collectible card game, and then turned into an LCG by Fantasy Flight. One of the things I really enjoyed was plot cards. So you had your deck, you built your deck, whatever it was, whichever house you're running, Stark, Lannister, Baratheon, whatever it was. It is a competitive card game, and you're not out to kill anybody or whatever. You're out to gain power. And once you
Play the game.
Once you, I just lost the game. I'm so sorry.
no.
I'm so
You're
sorry.
not very good at
I
this.
just lost the game.
You all did too, by the way.
Yeah.
Listening.
No,
You
I
all
didn't.
Mike
yeah,
did
you're
not
playing.
play.
Yeah,
You're not playing.
Yeah,
You
Mike
don't
did
have a
not
choice.
play.
not play.
You don't have a
Oh,
choice.
I'm not.
No, see, this is not how it works.
But see, that's where you're losing, and I'm not.
Gosh. Anyway, so you collect a bunch of power. Once you get, I think it's 15 power, you win. Boom, done. There was a great mechanic. So you have your deck, but then you have a plot deck. So you have 7 cards that are unique, and they each have different numerical values based on how much gold you're getting for that turn, how many resources essentially, what your initiative is, who takes first action, and then a claim value, which is when you win a challenge, this is the number of times it triggers, essentially. Then there's special text on the card that affects everybody for that turn. Because you can play multiplayer format, Game of Thrones 4-player, which is usually really fun, everybody pulls a plot card from their specific plot deck, looks at it, figures out which one they want. 1, 2, 3, boom, you lay it out. Everybody's card affects the entire play for that round. It could be non-renowned characters can't do this, okay? That affects everybody. So it's never a like, oop, I get to do this for this turn. No, you're screwing everybody and everybody's screwing everybody else kind of thing. There was one that was a board wipe. It was great. But it dictates how you play for just that turn. And you cannot play that plot card again until you play your entire plot deck, which was fun.
So the order matters.
The order mattered.
Got
Yep.
it.
And it was cool. Yeah, I liked that a lot. There was also, with Game of Thrones, there was your discard pile and there's your dead pile. So any named character, any named unique character that was killed, died, or whatever.
That's frequent
goes
in Game of Thrones.
yeah. Very familiar, yeah. Goes to the dead pile. You cannot play them again. They are dead thematically. If they've been discarded, that's the discard pile. That's fine. But when you play that unique character, if you have any other copies in your hand, you can put them on top as like body doubles. So if they were attacked or lost a challenge and you had to kill them, you just discard one of them.
Totem armor.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
100%.
Were
I
they
thought
the
that was
exact
cool.
same card, or could
Yes.
they be different versions?
How many?
It had to be the exact same card. You couldn't play different versions because they would be the same character.
What was the play set in that game? 3 or 4?
3. LCGs are 3. Yeah, usually. I liked that a lot. Invasion had the board, the capital.
Did Jon
Cool.
Snow get to come
Yeah.
back? Because he does come back.
There's ways you could bring. Oh my, yeah. Now, Invasion had the capital. It had a little cardboard board.
I like that. Yeah, that was cool.
It had 3 different zones that you're attacking, so you're not just attacking the player. You have to choose which of the 3 sections of somebody's base capital, essentially, you're attacking, which is cool. I think there's a lot of unique mechanics that came up and died, unfortunately, or.
I like dice with card games, which I think is an instant not going to last because it's 2 different costs that don't necessarily demand an appropriate price point.
Sure.
You know, like Star Wars Destiny, you got 5 cards with 1 die. Well, it was only the rares that had dice, right?
Yeah.
And
But the Baldur's Gate D20 thing was cool.
In Magic,
For
he's
Magic.
talking about.
yeah, no.
You didn't like that?
No.
They were broken. They are broken.
I don't even think about the broken thing. I don't like coin flipping or rolling dice in Magic either. I think it's just dumb.
All right.
That's just me.
Yeah,
you know, whatever.
yeah.
Like you can build a deck out of it, right? Kark's thumb with flipping.
Oh,
you know,
the-
and there's plenty
The
of
new
things.
Mr. House.
There's what's Mr. House?
He's Mr. House, CEO and president from the Fallout. If you roll like a 4 or higher on a die, you get something cool. If you roll a 6 or higher, you get something cooler.
You just build anything that rolls dice.
Yeah, and he rolls his own dice, and it says 1d6. So a lot of people got caught up. Oh, that's a 1 out of 6 chance. No, it's any
No,
die.
It's any die,
So you roll a d20.
and you're gonna hit it.
You're gonna hit it most of the time.
Yeah.
Yeah, and there's d10s and 12s for some of the weird
Silly.
Forgotten Realms. Yeah.
That's silly.
So it's to stack the deck against you as the house. Ha ha ha. But I think it adds two types of randomness.
I
Because you have the card randomness and then a die, and I don't like that.
I don't mind I don't even mind that. I think it's just like I don't like dice rolling in the midst of a card game. Like it
feels weird.
It's just like half the time it's knocking off a counter off something, or it's just messing up the board state, or somebody's going to worry about their $100 card that's getting a die dropped on it. You know, like I don't know.
Yeah,
It's another strategy.
It just
knock the
feels
counters off. Get the
feels extraneous and it feels gimmicky. You know, the game isn't about that. Whereas like honestly, even with a game where it was part of the game, Star Wars Destiny had dice as a core mechanic. At the end of the day, as much as it was cool mechanically, it was still gimmicky. Like it was cool. You could do some really fun things, and I liked that secondary chance aspect that it threw in there. D6, like it was a nice probability to mess up whatever you were planning.
Did they do the math right? Because that's what I'm saying. Like with the randomness of a card game and then the die, do they balance it well in that at least?
I felt like that game, it felt fine as far as like the way the dice worked. It felt bad based on like the decisions, the rulings they made on cards and how cards worked.
Got it. So it
It's
wasn't
like,
that.
Yeah, they broke their own game by like bad errata and bad release schedule and
Bad
shot
business
themselves in the
decisions.
foot. Yeah.
you know, supply and demand is a thing. They didn't pay attention.
I think also, like you said, it's like a gimmick, and then if you actually like think about it, at least for Magic, like it was the unsets that first introduced the dice rolling because they were supposed to,
Yeah.
it's an unset, it's a goofy set, so
Yeah.
we'll add the goofy dice mechanic. So it's interesting seeing that like as actual rules of the game.
Sure.
We're like, no, before dice were used to mark your counters and whatnot, or instead of flipping you roll a die, now it's like no, there's full fledged. Let's roll a dice card.
If I give you guys this math, does this track to you? A game comes out, the theme is what draws you in, but you add the mechanics that work and it keeps you there. So the math being you're attracted to a card game because of the theme first and you stick with it because of the mechanics second. Is that fair to say?
Seems on point in my experience.
Yeah.
Are we talking us as adults? I think so.
Sure.
'Cause I'm thinking like Pokemon as a kid. I got drawn in by the IP. The game is not super complex, especially then. But I
'Cause
played it for a couple years, so
No, I'm looking at the list of all the games that we've loved and stuck with, and there's an IP behind them.
The only one that doesn't have an IP that stands on its own strength to me is Magic.
Yeah, that's what I
Every
mean.
other
Yeah.
game that I've played that was specifically a card game, regardless of the style, LCG, CCG, whatever, the skin has always been a huge part of it.
Yeah.
But I think to answer your question, I think sometimes the IP kept me there too. Because like I said, Pokemon wasn't massively
Right.
complex. The mechanics weren't keeping me there every day. It was Pikachu and Charmander.
Yeah,
It's the characters you love.
for sure.
Sure.
You know, and then what new versions they were going to come out with, which might be mechanics to a degree, but they made new Pokemon all the time, so they were smart.
Gosh. Yeah. We've covered a lot. I want to encourage anybody that hasn't tried some of these games we've mentioned, try them out. I firmly believe there's a card game out there for everybody at some point. If you like cooperative, there's 50 games you can play. If you want to get super grindy and competitive, there's 100 games you can play. If you want something that's dripping in theme, that's one of those two as well, cooperative or competitive. There's ways to do it. So try some dead games too. I mean, I think there's some fun games out there that
Good
are
old
cool.
MM.
Cord will play with you.
What? Play what?
Good old M&M. More Time Monday.
More Time Mondays. Bam, bam, bam. Now, yeah, we always play some fun stuff here, and it's interesting to see what people get into.
At least for the people who shop with us. If you have any questions about any of the games we've talked about, please ask us. Like,
Yeah.
I'm sure Court can go on and on and on about Lord of the Rings that like a podcast could never do justice. I can probably do the same thing with like Champions, but
Yeah.
definitely ask us because it for like Arkham Horror specifically. It's kind of, at least for me, it's hard to just like explain how cool this game is.
Yeah, if you guys are interested, let us know. Shoot us an email, shop at funkatronicrex.com. Give us a call. Come on in. Raise your hand. So, to end this thing, to end our episode, I've got I've got a bunch of Q&As. Actually, I have a ton of questions that people have submitted. I'm only going to do a few here, but thank you guys for sending in your questions for us to answer. You can send them through Discord, through Facebook or Instagram. You can email us at shop@funkatronicrex.com. Please get at us. Let us know what you're curious about. And I've got some questions here for you guys. Question 1 from Max31. What is Mike's second favorite Battletech clan?
This is tough. This is a good question.
Because
I like
Clan
this.
Wolf is number one for you?
I mean, there's
That's it, right?
a loyalist. To
There it
It's
is.
It's not an option.
Okay.
So there is no second favorite?
No,
okay.
there is.
It's both Clan Wolves. All right, there's Clan Wolf and Exile. Those are his two favorite.
oh, I got him.
Oh.
Think no further. No. I really like the lore of the Minnesota tribe, and if you don't know, Sarna.net for all your BattleTech lore. Sarna.net. It's Wikipedia for giant robots. It's
Ooh.
rad.
Okay.
But the Minnesota tribe has a very exciting history, and as far as something that I'd play though, because Minnesota tribe is fooling around in the inner sphere. I'm a clan player, so Star Adder would be my number 2.
Oh, is that the ones I painted up for you? Yeah, cool.
Yeah, I like their lore and I like their colors.
Yeah.
And I like that I play very different mechs than I do with Clan Wolf when I play Star Adder.
Sweet.
I hope we can get to that point in not like the whole wars and explosions and all, but here's my mech and I custom painted it and this thing looks awesome. And I'm gonna go fight your mech who is also custom painted and
That sounds like war. It's
Yeah.
exactly what you're describing.
They did that with planes all the time.
Robot Jock. Robot Jocks. Yeah.
That or isn't there like a game show?
what was that? What was there was a movie. about them.
BattleBots. Robot Jocks
There's been
is
Robot
the
Jocks.
80s
Yeah.
bad good movie.
I'm thinking
Crash and burn.
Isn't that
Yeah,
most
I like
80s movies?
I like the idea of a big mega mech
Yeah.
that could be strange and bright pink because oh no, this is my mech. I mean,
Yeah,
this is what I
okay.
want it to be.
Sure.
Pro painted?
It's Smay propane.
Yeah,
Smay
Smay
pink.
painted mech. Ryan, this one's for you, I would say. What keeps you coming back to Funk on a regular basis?
The family here.
Yeah.
For sure. The fun times, hanging out, like I said earlier, just I don't even always need to play. Just talking with Gianni one night. We connected on, gosh, what was it? A game or something we both played. I can't even remember now. And we talked for a good 20 minutes while everyone else was just playing something else and killed some time. So it's definitely the people and
Yeah.
you guys. So I think that's what makes it fun because I can go to Amazon and buy cards or a new board game, but I come here because I like you guys and I like playing them here.
Thanks.
We like you. But what do you love?
Well, the Funk family, but mostly dragons.
Dragons. He loves dragons. There's some heavy ones in here, so I'm just gonna go this last one here. Who's everybody's favorite Magic Commander?
I still miss Renfield.
That's yours. Yeah.
But whatever this new guy is, he's pretty good. The Fortell, same cost.
Oh, yep, the D&D guy, right?
yeah, the D&D. Chris
Edgin.
Pine. Edgin, is that his name? Chris Pine.
Larson
Is it Pine?
or something?
I'm just calling him Is It Pine from now on.
Michael, what's yours?
Probably I don't want to go with the cheap answer and say, oh, my name is Kalgar because it's Warhammer, but I think it's Aloro.
Oh, yeah,
He's
yeah,
the first guy who ever had Eminence kind of printed.
good.
But when I played him, I always wanted him out on the battlefield because he's awesome and
Yeah.
he draws you more cards. Dude, that's awesome.
Yeah.
But yeah, Esper, best color combo in Magic. Come fight me.
Hot take.
It's the right take.
Speaking of eminence, I will jump in to say Edgar Markov. I think there you go. I love
Fair and
Iara.
balanced.
I love Iara, but I love that deck more than just the commander itself. I don't even need to bring Edgar out, and he gives me vampires. Boom. I'm taking it. Ryan, what about you?
I didn't know you'd put me on the spot with this one. I mean, I want to say a dragon one, but I've lately been having more fun with Tasha and Elminster. D&D is also part of a big thing, and
Yeah.
their decks I just cranked out and built one day, both of them back to back. So
Tasha, is that the blue-black witch?
yeah, she
She's a
steals
witch,
stuff.
Ron has that
I
deck,
have that one
Yeah.
too.
Yeah.
She's cool.
It's not like Ron's deck though, where you
Ron's
just win on
dirty.
turn 3, right?
It's dirty.
No.
With Thassa's Oracle Demonic Consultation.
Doesn't have that at all. It was truly built to more steal everyone's stuff,
Good.
and then I get
That's
yelled
how
at.
it should be built.
It's really powerful. I'm like, I just stole all your stuff, so
You're
looking in the
actual
mirror
deck.
more there.
Yeah.
I'm not going to say the deck's weak, but when I've got your Esper Sentinel and Urza that I stole, that's not my problem. I mean,
Sucks to be you.
Yeah.
Thank you guys so much, Ryan. Thank you for being here.
Thank you for
Thanks
having me.
Yeah. Oh, anytime. You're a Funk
Appreciate
family, man. Yeah, absolutely. Thank you guys. Thank you, Michael. Thank you, Mike. Thank you
Thank
to
you,
all
Court.
of you.
You're the real star. Or
you're the man.
Thank you. I appreciate it. I'm proud to be part of this, proud to work here, proud to do this. So And we're so proud to have all of our listeners and all of our patrons and Funk family members. Thank you guys. Thank you for listening to the Funkatronic Rex podcast. You can find more of the funk at funkatronicrex.com, Facebook, Instagram, and Discord. If you'd like to support us and the shop, please join us on Patreon by becoming a patron of the Funk. If you're in the Phoenix area, please swing by. Come check us out. We would love to meet you and get a game in. You can also reach us by sending an email to shop@funkatronicrex.com. Stay up, stay true, and don't forget, stay funky. Oh, thank you, gentlemen.
Thank you.